Good afternoon. Welcome to the FTD University webinar titled Get Productive, Experience Less Stress, Have More Fun, and Get More Done. Today, you will learn how to prioritize your work and life and how to dramatically boost your physical energy, as well as a simple secret that will help get the most important work done first, and lots more. Susan Negen, co-founder of WhizBang Training, will be leading this informative webinar. Susan has a knockout 1-2 punch of sophisticated big business skills and street smart small business experience. She shares her skills and wisdom as a retail consultant with independent store owners, managers, and employees all over the world. In her more than 2 decades of business experience, Susan has co-developed the Retail Mastery System and the Retail Sales Academy to help retailers build their sales and improve their productivity. Once Susan is finished with her presentation, we will open the webinar up for questions. If you have a question, simply type it in the question box on the upper right side of your screen. Feel free to submit your questions during the presentation, and we'll hold them until the Q&A portion of the webinar. So without further ado, I would like to turn the call over to Susan to begin the webinar. Susan?
All right, thank you, Janet. Very excited to be here. Welcome, everyone from FTD. Delighted to be with you for FTD University today. Are you ready to get productive? I'm ready. So let's go over some of the ways that we can have less stress, more fun, and get more done in our businesses. All right, so I want to start by sharing this quote with you because some of the things that I may be sharing with you today might shake you up a little bit and might cause you to have to change. But what I want to remind you is that to achieve the vision that you have for your business, both you and your business must change. So in order to get to that dream place, that place of a super successful business, you're going to have to change some and your business may have to change some. And today what we're going to be talking about in this webinar is primarily the you part changing. How do you get more productive? How do you become less stressed in your business? So both of these things need to happen for you to achieve that really successful business that you probably dreamed of when you started your business. So I'm excited to be moving and sharing on this journey with you today. First of all, I want to talk about the 3 things that we think really go into boosting your productivity. And the first thing is energy. You know, without the proper energy, it's hard to get stuff done all day long. If you get tired in the middle of the day, if you wake up and you don't feel like you've got enough energy to get through the day, it's hard to be productive. So energy is one of the things we're going to be talking today about, how we can improve our energy to boost our productivity. The second thing is time. This is probably the biggest thing I hear over and over again is time. I don't have enough time. I wish I had more time. And the third thing that we're going to be talking about is focus. How do we really focus ourselves in order to become more productive? So those are the 3 areas that we're going to be talking about today and really working on as we move through this webinar on getting more productive. So with that, I have a question for you, and I think, Janet, am I right that they can just answer this poll right there in the webinar, and that is which component of productivity is most troublesome for you? Is it energy? Is it time?
Okay.
Is it focus? So go ahead and just click on one of those and let me know so that as I move through this webinar, I can really focus in on the areas where maybe most of you feel like you're struggling. So do you struggle more with energy, with time, or with focus? So we're going to just let people answer that poll really quickly. And Janet, I think you're going to be giving me the answers, correct?
I am. Yep, we've got 79% voted right now. They're coming in.
Right.
It's
and
looking...
So if you haven't clicked that poll, just go ahead and click on there and let us know which one is hardest for you.
Focus seems to be the big push.
Oh, really? Interesting. That's interesting. So I've got some great focus techniques coming up for you.
All right. Yep, we've got 53% focus, 35% time, 12% energy.
12% energy. Okay, interesting. So now hold on. There we go. So We're going to start with energy, though. So we're going to be going through all these things, and we're going to start with energy. And I want to share this quote with you that Brendan Burchard gave, and he said this on the stage of the Retail Success Summit that Bob and I have here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We had 500 retailers in the room, and he said this, and the room was just like, oh, they were just amazed at this concept. And his idea is this, that you are the power plant. You are the power plant. You don't have energy. You create energy. So if you're feeling like you don't have energy, like if you're tired or your energy is low, just remember this idea that you are the power plant. You can create it. You can actually manufacture the energy within yourself at that moment to get you through the day to make you more productive. So let's talk about some of the things that you need to do in order to actually create this energy. What are the components of having a really high level energy? And the first one is part of energy comes from your body, from your physical body. And there are some components, of course, that go into the energy that comes from your body. And the first one is sleep. And sleep is an incredibly important component for your productivity. If you don't get enough sleep, you'll never be as productive as you need to be, as you should be. As a matter of fact, one of the things that torturers do is deprive people of sleep in order to torture them. So if you're not giving your body enough sleep, which, by the way, for an adult in the range of 25 to 65 years old is 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. If you're not getting enough sleep, you're actually torturing yourself. You're torturing your body, and it causes all kinds of problems. It can cause a lack of attention, difficulty concentration, lower levels of creativity, which for florists, that's a big deal. Did you know if you're not sleeping enough, you're not as creative as you could be? You're not giving your body and your brain the energy that it needs to be creative. So sleep is a really, really important component of being productive and creating that energy that you need to get through the day. So if you think you have a problem with sleep, I'm going to give you a couple of little techniques, or some tools. Actually, they're really, really tools, resources that you can use to help monitor your sleep. And before I do that, I want to know which one describes you. Do you get less than 4 hours of sleep, 4 to 6 hours of sleep, or 7 to 8 hours of sleep? So let me know, and then I'm going to share some resources that will help you get better sleep, because it's critically important for your body. Sleep helps prevent disease, it keeps your brain healthy, and it definitely creates energy for your body. All right, Janet, how's it looking with our poll there? How are we? What's coming up?
We've got 70% in right now. It's 57% or 4 to 6 hours. We are not sleeping enough.
We aren't sleeping enough. This is a big part of your productivity. You need to get enough sleep. You're actually physically harming your body, which is giving you less energy than you need. Yeah, 4 to 6 hours. Very common. Again, 7 to 9 hours is how much the scientists say that we need as adults from 25 to 65 years old. We need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. So what are you going to do if you need to work on that a little bit and improve your sleep? One of the things you can do is you can download one of these really cool apps on your phone. You can get this either for an Android phone or for an iPhone, and here's are 3 different ones that I recommend. I use the one called Sleep Cycle there on the left. Sleep Time is another one. Pillow is another one. But what these do is you actually take the phone into the bed with you, like on the bed with you, and it measures the amount of activity that your body has. And it can actually track your sleep into REM sleep, into deep sleep. It will track how many times you wake up every night, and it will track how long you sleep every single night. It'll start to track the actual hours of sleep that you get. And it'll start to tell you which days you have good quality sleep, which days you have poor quality sleep, and you can start to make notes on these apps and understand things like, oh, this is a day where I work 12 hours a day, or this is a day where maybe I had several glasses of wine with dinner, or this is a day where I didn't exercise, and so maybe my sleep was interrupted because I didn't exercise. But these apps will really help you track and manage and improve the sleep that you're getting every single day. So if sleep is an issue for you, and was for a lot of you, take a look at one of these 3 apps and consider putting those on your phone to help improve that sleep. So let's look at what else goes into the body part of energy. Nutrition, of course. What you eat is very, very important. And my goodness, I know as busy store owners, managers, we are always rushed, and so that nutrition piece can simply get lost by the wayside. But diets high in fat, high in sugar, too much alcohol, not enough fresh fruits and vegetables, all has a detrimental effect on your body, which leads to low levels of energy, especially sugar in the afternoon. You think it's going to give you that little pick-me-up, but it's really terrible. So watch your nutrition, and then finally exercise. You knew I was going to get there, right? Didn't you? Everybody, all of the experts say that exercise is one of the key things that you can do to create energy. Just like Brendan says, your body's the power plant. When you exercise, it actually helps create energy inside your body. So here's the question for you. How often do you exercise each week? 0 days? 1 to 2 days? 3 to 5 days, or are you one of those fabulous exercisers 6 to 7 days, almost every day a week? So I'll have to admit that I am probably on the lower end. I probably am like 2 days or 3 days. We do yoga here in our office 2 days a week, so at least I get that in, but I probably need to add, this is an area where I need to add in some more for my own energy boost. Adding in exercise, cardiovascular exercise, or weight-bearing exercise, really a great way to increase your energy. All right, how are we doing on our poll, Janet?
Oh, it's not good. We need to
It's not
exercise.
good.
Right now we've got 50% do not exercise, Iron. 0 days, 31%,
days.
1 to 2.
Well, good for you for being honest, because you have to understand that there is a problem is the first step, absolutely. So I would just take a look at that, and right there, if you can get a little bit more sleep, even just 1 hour more sleep, and put in maybe just 2 days, 3 days of exercise, you're going to have a lot more energy in your physical body, and that's really going to help you out with your productivity. So what's next? The next part of energy actually comes from your mind. So your body is the physical plant, but your mind has an amazing effect on your energy. Have you ever, it's happened to all of us. Like, you feel like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm just gonna lay down on the couch and I'm gonna watch this TV show or something that you feel like you have very low energy. And then all of a sudden a friend calls and says, hey, you want to go do this thing? And wow, whammo, you have all the energy in the world to go out and hang out with your friends or do something fun or something really exciting that you want to do. Well, that's the power of your mind over this energy plant, this energy access reservoir that we all have available to us. And so what goes into that mind piece? Well, there's a few things, and the first one is thoughts. And we all have thoughts running through our mind all the time, and a lot of times those thoughts are what psychologists call ANTS, A-N-T-S, automatic negative thoughts. I'm too tired. I don't have enough time to get this done. This is never going to be done on time. There's too much to do. All of those thoughts about your productivity and about your energy level and what you're able to accomplish, those negative thoughts negatively impact the actual physical energy that you have in your body. So as you can control your thoughts and get rid of those ants, those automatic negative thoughts that pop up in everybody's mind, just be conscious of them and change the story, change the thought that you have in your mind, and you'll notice an increase, a lift in your energy. The next one is beliefs. Now this is a little bit different, but what you believe has an effect and impact on your mind and your energy level. So for example, if your belief is that working hard is is the only way to get ahead in life, if that's your belief, then you're going to have this belief in your mind that you're always working so hard, and that belief is going to have an impact on your energy. So be careful about your beliefs, and then again, your values. And your values can play into a lot of those things that we were talking about early: sleep, nutrition, exercise. What is it that you value? Where do you place the priority in your mind for your life? Sleep is really important. Nutrition is really important. Exercise is really important. It's what will actually make you more successful in your business. Spending an extra hour sleeping might make you more successful than an extra hour working in your store. So just what do you value? How are you valuing these concepts of body and mind that create energy? And the energy is important, of course, because from energy comes work. If you don't have enough energy, you can't deliver enough work to be successful. So you really have to focus on these two parts of energy, body and mind, and those 6 different components that we just talked about. If you can use those components, improve even just incrementally some of those components, and really work on those different areas, you're going to have more energy and more output, more productivity in your work. So that's energy. So number one problem for most retail store owners that I talk to is time. And I hear it over and over again: I just don't have time. I'm overwhelmed. There's not enough time to get everything done. I wish that I could, I wish I had more time to get everything done. So most people start to talk about time management. Well, I think time management is really a misnomer, because we can't manage our time. The only thing we can manage is our work. We can manage how we spend our time, what work we're doing with the time we have. Everybody has the same 24 hours a day, but you know people, and I know people who seem to get just an astonishing amount done. And it's not because they have more time or they're managing their time any differently. What they're actually doing is they're managing their work differently. And so we've come up with a system that we call the retailer's time system, that's going to help you do this, manage your work and not your time. And there's 4 parts to this retailer's time system. One is called flex time, focus time, floor time, and then my personal favorite, free time. So let's explore these 4 pieces of the retailer's time system just a little bit more right here. So the first part of this time system I want to talk about is flex time. And here we see a guy, and he's in flex time. He's working, he's putting merchandise out on the floor, maybe he's taking a phone call from a customer or from a vendor, and he's multitasking. Flex time is the time of your day when you're running around your store, you're putting out fires, you're answering questions. It's how most of us, honestly, spend most of our time. We're multitasking. We're trying to get a lot done all at the same time. Now, they did a study in Britain several years ago, almost a decade ago now. And in that study, they determined that pot smokers actually get more done than multitaskers. So there you go, right there. You know, if you're multitasking, just realize that you are not actually getting, you're not being the most productive with your time. Now, flex time happens in every business with every job. Flex time is an important time that you need to manage, but the idea is that we're going to want to try to minimize flex time in your day. That time when you don't have any, scheduled thing going on, and you're just putting out fires. You're just working on the floor a little bit. So you're never going to completely eliminate this flex time, but we are going to want to minimize it. And here's how we're going to do it. First thing we're going to do, this is a great quote, don't confuse activity for results. This is what happens in flex time, that people just get busy and they think that because they're busy, they're being productive and they're achieving things. And it's not true. If you're just busy, if you're changing light bulbs or if you're sweeping the back room, that is not probably a good use of your time. That's activity. It's not creating results for your business. So here we go with flex time. These are some great things that really can eat into your time and steal it from you. They're time vampires. Email, Facebook, and other kinds of social media. Friends and family. Any of you ever have friends or family come into the store, or maybe your employees have this same situation where their friends or family come into their store, or the last one is the World Wide Web. Now, my personal time vampire is always Facebook. It's terrible, but I'll just pop on there. I think, I'm just going to pop on there for a second. But, what I found is when I take that Facebook app off my phone, and if I don't open that tab on my computer, that, wow, I suddenly seem to get a lot more productive, and I'm not wasting time on Facebook. Number 3, the web, that's my husband Bob's big drawback. He gets caught into all these crazy things. You see these little ads popping up all over the web. 40 child stars who grew up to be the sexiest in Hollywood. I grew my armpit hair out for a month and this is what happened. So they're enticing. It's clickbait. The web can draw you in, and before you know it, 2 hours have gone by and you've looked at every single child star who grew up to be sexy women in Hollywood. So these things can be time vampires, steal your time. This is what happens when you're in flex time. And so it's important to try to minimize this part of your day, this flex time part of your day. Larry Winget says it best. We love this. Stop majoring in the minor. So don't spend a lot of time on minor stuff in your life. You just don't do it. Just uninstall those apps. There are great tools that can help you get those apps off of your computer, even where you can say, well, don't let me look at Facebook for an hour, and there's apps that will let you do that. So stop majoring in the minor. Now, floor time. Floor time is the second time in our retailer's time system. And floor time is not the same as flex time. Floor time is when you have scheduled yourself to sell or work on the floor. And you only do 2 things when you are in floor time. Number 1 is you help customers, and number 2, you coach your staff. You're not talking to vendors. You're not trying to put an order in the system at the same time. You're not trying to change the light bulbs. You're not trying to re-merchandise the floor. When you are scheduled on floor time, and you should put yourself on the schedule, when you're scheduled for floor time, you're doing 2 things. You're working with customers and you're coaching your staff. Working with your staff and coaching with your staff. Now, everybody should schedule themselves at least a little bit of floor time every single week. This is really important time for you to connect with customers and connect with staff. It's a really, really fantastic way. You can see this woman right here. She's actually doing some coaching and teaching her staff, her brand new employees, how to work on the floor and what her standards are. So that's what you should be doing for floor time. And really the trick with floor time is to put yourself on the schedule as part of the coverage. So not your normal coverage plus you on the floor, because when that happens, that's when you're going to go ahead and start doing things like calling up your vendors, placing an order, whatever those flex time things that you do, a million things you have to do every day. So put yourself on the schedule as part of the floor coverage. And that's really the trick. And this is a really powerful time during your week, floor time. Third kind of time that you should be scheduling for yourself is focus time. And scheduling for yourself is the key phrase here. Focus time should be time that you schedule in chunks, chunk your time so that you can get more done with it. So I would try to schedule at least 2, maybe 3, 4 hours of focus time at a time. And when you have scheduled yourself focus time, you need to make sure that your employees know that you're in focus time, that your family knows that you're in focus time, and that they're not interrupting you because, got a minute? Can you answer a question? I need some help for just a second. You know that happens all the time, even if you close your door in your office. So you really have to make sure that everybody understands that when you're doing focus time, that you're not to be disturbed. And when you're in focus time, this is when you get to do the really important work in your business. This is where you can work on your training programs, create your marketing calendar for the year, develop your open to buy plan, create your assortment plan for the year. All the important, innovative business growth, business building work, the work of working on your business actually happens in this focus time. The trick is you have to chunk it, you have to schedule it, you have to put it on your calendar and schedule it or it won't happen. And you have to make sure that people aren't interrupting you. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we recommend is that you, just like this guy here, you actually go out maybe to a coffee shop, or you go to the library, or maybe you do have a special office in your home, but I don't know about you, but when I try to work at home, oh, there's a load of laundry that needs to go in, the dog barks to go out, then the dog barks to come in, then maybe I get bored and I have to have a snack. And so like if you're at home, so many things can pull you away from this focus time. But try to find a space that's just yours, that works for you, to focus on those really important tasks of growing your business. So focus time, this is your big project time. This is the time that will really propel your business forward. Again, schedule it, figure out what you're going to do. Even if you just did, let's just say you just did 2 hours a week. Just imagine if you spent 100 hours in focus time developing a training program, developing a marketing calendar, developing these processes and systems for your business. They're going to help your business grow. If you spent 100 hours next year, what would that mean for your business? How would your business change? This is really critical. You got to move out of flex time into floor time, where you're working with your team, working with your customers, and into focus time. So this is the shift that we want to make. And then the last kind of time that we want to talk about is free time. And free time, by free time, I mean a full 24 hours, a full day from midnight to midnight, where you don't work in your business, you don't open your business emails, you're not on your business Facebook page, you are actively not working in your business. It's free time. And what happens if you do this midnight to midnight, this full 24 hours, is it actually changes your brain and resets your brain, re-energizes your brain so that you can refocus after this free time. So we call this a free day, 24 hours, midnight to midnight, where you are not working in your business at all. You're not reading business books. You are not answering your business emails. Nothing to do with your business for a full day. So let's just see how many free days right now are you taking each month. 0 to 2 free days, 3 to 4 free days, 5 to 10 free days, or are you at the gold standard of taking more than 10 free days a month? So it's an interesting question. And I'll tell you, when we started asking ourselves this question, like how many free days are we taking? My husband and I were working on this, and he looked panicked almost. She's like, well, what am I going to do if I'm not thinking about business? And how can my business possibly run if I'm not thinking about it and working on it and consistently in it every single day? Well, we'll talk about that in just a minute, but it's astonishing how well it can run without you if you organize your business the right way. So, Janet, how's our poll coming? How many days are people taking for free days?
We've got 41% are 0 to 2 free days, and then we are split 29% for 3 to 4 and 29% for 5 to 10.
All right, so congratulations, all of those of you who are taking 5 to 10 free days. That's fantastic. So we've got almost 60%, over 60%, who are not taking one day a week or less as their free day. So that's a little tricky because, again, you really need that reset, that full free day in order to reset your brain. Now, one of the tricks with taking free days is that you actually have to schedule yourself something to do instead, right? If you just say, okay, well, tomorrow I'm going to take a free day, and you don't have anything planned, you don't have anything scheduled, you have nothing going on, well, we'll all slide right back into working on our business, stopping by the store, checking the email, just going on Facebook onto your Facebook page, your business page, just to see what's going on. So the trick is you have to schedule some stuff, plan some stuff to do on your free days. So there's a couple different kinds of free days that we like to talk about. The first one is a tinfoil metal day. And these are the days that we all have to have. And I would guess most of you who are taking, 2 to 5 or even 5 to 10, a lot of those free days are tinfoil metal days. And these are days where we do chores that we have to do. We might do the laundry, go grocery shopping. We do all the errands and things that we can't do during our workday on our tinfoil metal day. It's still a free day. If you go from midnight to midnight without working in your business, it's still a free day. It still has that same beneficial effect for your brain of changing your focus. But, it's still a tinfoil day. There's another kind of free day that we call the silver medal free day. And these are free days that are maybe a little bit more fun. These are the days that you spend with your family. These are the days that you might spend volunteering in the community. These are days that you spend with your friends. These are days that, you spend doing things for others, in service to others, but not your business. So this is Silver Medal Day, and we all love these days. These are days that really start to fill us up, where those tinfoil medal days just keep us alive, keep our houses going, keep our families moving forward. A Silver Medal Day really starts to fill you up when you're spending time with your family and you're spending time in service to others. That is a great example of a Silver Medal Day. So the more you can shift your tinfoil days to Silver Medal days, the better. So what things can you outsource on your tinfoil days? Can you hire a lawn service? Maybe you hire a house cleaner. Maybe you do that shopping service where the groceries just show up on your doorstep every single week. How can you minimize that tinfoil free time and shift it into silver medal free time? That'll make you actually much more productive when you get back to work after your free days. The last kind of free days that we talk about in our retailer's time system is the gold medal free day. And they are often very elusive, but boy, are they lovely. And these are the days when you get to do just what you want, just for you. Maybe you get to go to the spa and you spend an entire day at the spa. Maybe you take a painting class. Maybe, like this picture in the lower corner here, you rent a car and you drive some fabulous highways. Now, I put this picture on here for a reason, and that's because when we talked about this concept of the retailer's time system and free time at one of our recent retail success summits, one of the guys in the audience really took it to heart. And it was Steve at Fundemonium. He has a toy store. And he used to love to drive his race car. He had a fancy sports car like the one in the picture. And he sold it when he had a family and when he bought his business. But it used to be that driving that sports car was something that he really loved. And so he decided when he came back from the Retail Success Summit that he was going to schedule a gold medal day. And he rented a car. And this is what he wrote us. He said, "I haven't been this happy in a very long time. I feel energized and eager to tackle the issues that need resolving at the store. To anyone reading this, if you think that the free day concept isn't important, it is. Don't wait to get depressed like I did. Schedule a free fun day this week." See, he had waited so long to take a free day, to take a day for himself, that he was actually feeling depressed. And he was unhappy in his business, and he was overwhelmed and stressed. And just this one day of doing something special for himself that he loved, this gold medal day, really changed his life, changed his work life as well as his personal life. He felt excited to go back to his store again. So if you can add those free days in, and the more free days, the better. We have clients who are now taking 6 weeks in the summer and going to Mexico, 4 weeks in the fall to go to Italy. You know, if you work on your business and create the right kinds of systems using that focus time, you can add more free days. The more free days you can add into your business, usually the more successful you are. I know it seems counterintuitive. If I'm taking time off and I'm not working, how can I be more successful? You just have to be more productive with the time that you are there and the time that you are working in your business. Minimize flex time, focus on moving it into free time, focus time, and floor time. So that is the retailer's time system, a really great strategy for managing your work, not really managing your time, but scheduling the work into the time that you have. All right. Focus. The last thing we're going to be talking about here is focus. And for you on the call, this was your hardest area. This was the thing that was most troublesome, and it is hard to focus. And we talked a little bit about those time vampires, the things that in flex time keep you from really moving ahead. That's really a focus issue too. But there's some things that you can do to improve your focus because a lot of us look like this. Like we all know what the easy way is, right? But then my way is often on the bottom where we get distracted and do a million different things and go off on tangents and eventually we get to be, but it's a whole lot harder than the easy way. So when you focus, you're going from A to B in a straight line. So that focus makes you so much more productive. All right, here's a great resource that I want to share with you. It's a book by Gary Keller. It's called The One Thing. It's just new out this year. It was a Wall Street Journal bestseller. Fantastic book. I highly recommend it. This book is all about focus. It's all about picking the one thing that you're going to work on. So whether it's the one thing this hour, what is the one thing that I'm going to complete this hour? What's the one thing that I will get done today? What's the one thing that's going to be accomplished by the end of this week, no matter what? And making that commitment to yourself and focusing. So many times we think we have to do a lot of different things. But really, what we have to do is one thing at a time. Again, going back to this idea of multitasking is not an effective, productive way to run your business or run your life. Helping to focus on this one thing. This is a great book. There's lots of cool tips and techniques in this book. I think you'll really enjoy it. Fantastic, fantastic read. So I highly recommend, if focus is an issue for you, that you grab this book and check it out. The One Thing. So if you're only going to do one thing, what is it going to be? So take a look at this little graph that we made here. So right over here we've got what you love, right? So One of the things you need to do if you're going to work on fewer things and focus on fewer things is figure out what parts of the business, what parts of your business do you love to do? And what parts are you really good at? And the ideal is to work right there in that center green area. And that should be the only work that you do in your business. Now, of course, you'll have to get to that place eventually. You have to delegate the rest. So many of us get stuck over here in this blue section, what you're good at, right? Stuff that you're good at, that you do all day long, that maybe you're even very excellent at it. We call it excellent work, that you're good at, but you don't love. And you probably do this kind of work all day, every day, year after year, decade after decade. And what happens is, if you end up working in this area, what you're good at, but not what you love, this is where you can start to get burned out and worn down. You need to work in the middle at what you love and what you're good at. Delegate the rest. For example, you might be really good and know a lot about your bookkeeping in your business. You might know, all of your vendors and all the terms. You might have it all in your head, but it's hard for you. You hate it. It's not what you're passionate about. Numbers and bookkeeping aren't your thing. You'd rather be working on the flowers and the arrangements and the creative parts of your business. So even though you're good at the bookkeeping, you shouldn't be doing it. You should delegate it. You should be finding a bookkeeper and paying a bookkeeper to do that work. If you are working in the work that you love, that you're good at, I guarantee you that you're going to be creating a lot more value for your business, generating a lot more revenue and growth for your business than spending your time doing your books. So and that's just one example. There's probably many other examples. So figure out, what is it in your business that you need to get rid of? What do you need to stop doing? What's not in that intersection of what you love and what you're good at? Delegate it. Find somebody either internally in your business to do the work, or outsource it to somebody outside your business. Use that time to work in what we call your unique ability, that green area, doing the things that you're uniquely suited for, that you will be most productive at. And that's where you're going to be able to grow your business and build value. So really take a look and think about what's that space? What's included in that space for you? It's different for everybody. What does that space look like for you? And what do you need to delegate? What do you need to get rid of so that you can focus on the important work? Okay, this is a great one. Don't reinvent the wheel. Invest. This kind of ties in a little bit to what we just talked about. You don't have to reinvent everything about your business. It takes too long. You don't have the time to focus on every single piece of your business. Invest in people, invest in programs, invest in outsourcing. You have to invest if you're going to focus on doing your very best work. All right, this is one of my favorites. This is just a really simple little focus technique. Get rid of your piles. Now, if you are feeling at all overwhelmed, stressed, you can't focus, or you lack focus, or you keep opening your Facebook page, or you just can't get started on the project. You can't get focused. You can't get started on the project that you need to get started on because it's what's important for your business. One of the very best things to do is clean your desk. Just start. You don't have to clean your whole office. Not asking you to clean your stockroom. Just start by cleaning. Maybe for you, it's just this lady, she just needs to clean one corner of her desk. But if you just start by getting rid of some of the little piles around your office, this also works in your house, by the way. If you start to look around your house and there's a little pile on your bedside table, there's a little pile by the kitchen telephone, there's a pile by the front door, there's a pile by the washing machine, you will start to be more productive, more focused if you spend a little bit of time every morning getting rid of at least one of those little piles. So get rid of those little piles. It lets you focus in. It's impossible to focus if you're working in a cluttered environment. So get rid of the little piles of stuff all around your desk. Try the positive focus exercise. This is a really cool technique. And it's even got the word focus right in it. Part of the reason that it's sometimes hard for us to focus is that we get overwhelmed. And as entrepreneurs and business owners and managers, we get overwhelmed because we're looking forward. We're forward lookers. We're thinking about everything that there is to do ahead of us. You know, it's like looking at the horizon. The horizon is always out in front of you. There's always work to be done. You're never going to get to the horizon, right? You can't ever get there. So the thing that you do with the positive focus exercise is stop, turn around, and look behind you. Look away from the horizon, look behind you, and focus on the positive things that have happened in the past. How far have you come? We always tend to underestimate how far we've actually come. We tend to forget it. So the positive focus exercise is simply this. You take your pen or your pencil and a piece of paper, and you give yourself a time limit, maybe 7 minutes, and you start writing. And you ask yourself the question, okay, what positive things have happened in my business, in my life, in the past, let's say, month? And you start writing down all the positive things. Oh, well, you know, we had that great promotion last week, and you know, this employee that I was kind of having a problem with is starting to come around again, and you know, we haven't lost the scissors one time in the last 3 weeks. It's just amazing. And you know, my vendor started to give me terms, and you start writing down all the positive things that have happened to you in a certain time period. A month, 2 months, 3 months is a really great time period to look at. So you sit down and you take a look at your positive focus. You can even do this for yesterday. What 3 things were positive that happened yesterday? But the reason this exercise is so powerful is that it gets your mind, again, it's part of that mind creating energy in your mind. It gets your mind set and focused on the positive possibilities for the things that you can accomplish today. So instead of looking so far out there to the horizon at how far you have to go and all the things you have to accomplish, when you're looking forward after doing the positive focus exercise, you really have that positive energy about, wow, look, I can do it. Look at how much I've already done. I've accomplished all this. I can move forward. So the positive focus exercise really is a great tool to keep you focused in the moment on moving forward in a positive way, even though the positive focus exercise is really about looking in the rearview mirror and looking at the past. Meditation is a phenomenal tool for focusing your mind. Now, meditation is not religion. Meditation isn't hocus pocus. Meditation is nothing other than sitting quietly with your, trying to calm your mind and create present awareness. That's all meditation is. And meditation, they've done so many studies on the benefits of meditation. Some of the most amazingly successful executives in the world use meditation. In the most amazing businesses like hedge fund managers and managers of major manufacturing corporations, and you know, if those guys are doing it and it works for them, it will work for you. Meditation helps you focus your mind and gives you clarity as you move into your day. It's really a fantastic tool to help you focus. If you have focus issues, spending 10 minutes a day on meditation is probably one of the most powerful tools that you can do, meditation. So have you ever tried meditation for focus and stress relief? I'm kind of interested if any of you have ever tried this. It's the benefits, both physical and mental, are astonishing, and all of the scientific research that they're doing on meditation now is just astonishing at how powerful it is and how little you actually have to do to get those major benefits from both your brain and your body. So I just wonder, is anybody, I try to meditate every day. It doesn't always work, but I try. I wonder if anybody else is doing meditation in this group. Janet, how's our poll coming?
All right, we've got only 50% voted so far. Oh, we just jumped up a chunk. We're kind of split right now. It's been going, right now it's exactly 50-50.
Oh, good. That's great. I'm glad to hear so many people have tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, if you haven't tried meditation, then I would really suggest that you give it a shot. And there are a couple of there are a couple of really great tools that you can use, resources. These are 2 apps that I have on my phone. There's lots of them. But these are 2 apps that I have on my phone. One's called Calm and one's called Headspace. I particularly like Headspace because the guy has a really groovy Australian accent who leads the meditation on those. But it's a really great way. They're about 10 minutes long, these little meditations, and these are guided meditations. It's a great way to start. If you've never done any meditation before, take a look at one of these apps and just try it, and commit to yourself to do it for, say, 2 weeks or 10 days, 10 minutes for 10 days, and just see how spending that little bit of time for yourself to bring your brain into this space of focused, calm mindfulness starts to permeate your whole day and really allows you to focus on all of the work that you do a lot better and improve your day in ways that are just that it's hard to express how this can help you, and how going back to this place of mindfulness and calm brain and calm mindfulness can help you throughout the day when you get stressed and frazzled and lack focus and get distracted by those time vampires, or want to click on one of those clickbait web headlines that your brain can come back to. Well, this is not really the best use of my time, and it helps you calm down and refocus. So meditation is an excellent tool for focus. And whoops, somehow I lost. There we go. Sorry. Really one of the great things you can do, of course, is to plan tomorrow today. So if you want to start out your day in a great way, start by meditating in the morning and already have your plan for the day ready to go. So the night before, just plan tomorrow. Figure out what you're going to do. And again, maybe you're only going to plan one thing. Maybe you're going to use that one thing technique. What is the one thing that you're going to do? If you're going to use that technique, put that one at the very top. Make sure it gets done first. But then there's always other things that we need to do every single day. And just make a list and figure out what it is that you're going to do, and what are your priorities? How are you going to order your priorities? And what are you going to do first, second, and third? When is your focus time going to be? When is your floor time going to be? Is it going to be a free time, and where are you going to add in your flex time? So again, always trying to minimize that flex time by planning your day, planning your schedule. You will have a much better handle on when you're going to be on the floor and present with your customers and your staff. When are you going to be focusing on growing your business, and when are you going to be in that flex time? Everybody needs to have a little bit of that. Just plan it. Understand what you're going to do in each pieces of those chunks, and plan it today. Plan it today so that when you wake up in the morning, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. You're ready to go. There's a couple of really cool apps, again, that you can put on your phone. and that, you know, I've listed them here for you. There's tons and tons. If you Google to-do list app for my phone, you'll see lots and lots. These are 3 of the highest rated ones, but they not only will they do a little to-do list, but they'll let you share the to-do list. So if you wanted to do a personal to-do list and share with your husband and your family, your wives, your children, if you wanted to do a list and share it with your team members, your staff, you can use these apps to do that as well. So by planning your day ahead of time, putting it down in writing, and using that tool, that app, to really keep you focused on your time throughout the day is a fantastic way to create, again, that focus on what you're going to accomplish. What's your one thing? When are you going to be on the floor? Do you have focus time scheduled, or is this a free day? Again, it's all about planning and managing the work so that you're maximizing your time. All right, let's see. I'm going to go back to this quote that we started with. To achieve your vision, and your vision, I want you to just think for just a minute, like, what is the vision of your amazing business? How do you want it to look all the time? How do you want it to run? How do you want to feel every time you walk into your business? What size do you want your business to be? How many stores do you want to have? You know, what's your vision for the amazing, successful business that you have? And oftentimes, to achieve that vision, you and your business must change. So I've given you lots of tools and techniques, things to think about today, so that you can change a little bit, so that your business can change and grow, so that you can become more productive, so that you can focus on the work you need to do to run a truly spectacular and amazing, successful floral retail business. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'm certainly happy to take some questions. Do we have time, Janet?
We do have a few minutes. Just want to thank you, Susan, for sharing a lot of great information with us today. That was really awesome.
Sure.
So remember, as I said earlier, if you have a question, type it in that question box on the upper right side of your screen. I've got one right now. Ron wanted to know, or his comments were, taking a free day seems impossible. How
I
am I
know.
not going to look at my email or my Facebook? I don't even know if I can do it.
I know, it's true. I mean, it does feel that way in the beginning, doesn't it? But I think the trick is to plan something in that space. You can't just have it be open-ended. You know, if you want to take a free day, you have to plan something to do. Whether it's, you know, planning to get all of your tasks done around your house, or whether it's planning that gold medal free day. The trick is to plan something in that space, because if you just leave a vacuum, work will creep back in. Work will creep back in, and pretty soon it's not a free day. So make sure that you plan something fun to do. Maybe it's to go volunteer, maybe it's to have your family over for dinner, to invite friends to do something fun, to go out to the movies, or whatever it is that you like to do. You have to plan something in that free space. You can't just leave it open-ended. All right, it's a good question.
All right, and Megan wants to know, how can she get focus time if she has to be in her store the whole time?
Yeah, it's tricky. So again, one of the things that I would recommend is that you go out to a coffee shop, the library, and even if you have to get up an extra hour earlier in the morning and do it an hour, even if you just one focus hour. You got up an hour earlier and you got out and you went to the coffee shop for an hour every day before you went to your store at the time that you normally would go. Just think, if you spent 5 hours a week, every single week on focus, work, on creating your marketing plan, on building your training programs, on doing all the things that you need, those focus tasks, that just the important tasks that are not urgent, so they never get done, the ones that always get put on the back burner. If you spent an hour a day on that, just imagine how different your business would be. So even if you have to be on the sales floor, carve that time out, before or after. Usually before works better for most people. Carve that time out just a little bit before the store opens, but the trick is to sit down and Do the work. Focus on what that one thing. What's the one thing you're going to get done in that 1 hour? If you've only got an hour, what's the one thing you're going to accomplish? And if you do that day after day after day, pretty soon your business will have changed and you'll be growing and you'll be able to hire more people, and then you can have more free time and focus time. So that's really how it works. Great, good questions.
Right.
Anything
And
else?
Stan wanted to share a suggestion for the free day. He said a great thing to do is to get involved with your local Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, absolutely. Little close to business, but you know, if you're really focusing on the volunteer aspects of it, sure, absolutely. A great silver medal free day.
Awesome. Well, it looks like we are out of questions for today. Susan, you had a lot of great content to share with everybody, and we really appreciate it. We just want to thank everybody also for attending today's webinar. If you missed a portion or you want to view it again with your staff or anyone else, a replay will be available on the FTD Mercury Network Florist YouTube channel later this week. The webinar materials are always available at ftdi.com, so just be sure to download. It's in shop operations, and we will be sending you guys a very brief survey to gather your feedback on today's webinar. Please, we'd ask you just take a minute to complete the survey, help us improve future webinars and other education programs for you. Our next FTD webinar is scheduled for Tuesday, November 7th. Your FTD team of experts will share 5 must-do items to have a successful Christmas, including tips for merchandising, selling, social media marketing, and more. The registration is already available at ftdi.com, so please be sure to register as soon as possible to reserve your spot. We just want to thank you again, Susan, sharing a lot of great information on how to prioritize our work and our life and get the most important things done first.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Here.
Yep.
Thank you,
This
Janet.
concludes FTD's webinar. Get productive, experience less stress, have more fun, and get more done. Thank you, everyone.